Hi everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to look at Unit 2.2. This is Properties of Numbers, and this is on page 19 in the textbook. Okay, go ahead and fill in today's date for me. And let's go ahead and take a look at our objectives for today. So we're going to identify and use properties of addition and multiplication. Identify and use properties of addition and multiplication. Then we're going to use properties to simplify algebraic expressions. Use properties to simplify algebraic expressions. All right, so for this one, you may want to have your textbook actually out and turn to the page on for 19. There's going to be a lot of information on there. You may have a flip chart that you can use or something like that, some kind of reference sheet with properties on it. That would be a good idea to have that out too. Otherwise, you're going to have to already know them off the top of your head. So hopefully it's not too big of a deal. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. So let's take a look at number 1. And it's going weird on me again. There we go. Okay, example 1. Is division of whole numbers associative? If not, give a counterexample. All right, well, let's think about it. Whenever we talk about the associative property, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the order in which the numbers come? Or are we talking about how they are grouped? In this case, it's grouped. All right, so let's write underneath it there, groupings. So let's just kind of jot some stuff down here. So if I do 4 divided by 2 and then divide by 1, okay, would that be the same as doing 4 divided by and then 2 divided by 1? I'd probably end up making something that actually works. Let me see if this works. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 would be 2. 2 divided by 1 would be 2. And then 2 divided by... Sure enough, I did. Okay, well, that one it did work. So let's try another one. Let's do like 30 divided by 6 divided by 3. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and then let's put groupings here, and let's do the same thing. So it'll be 30 divided by, and then we'll have 6 divided by 3. All right, let's try that. So if I have 30 divided by 6, that's going to be 5. 5 divided by 3 is some funky decimal. Okay, now let's do the bottom one. So we have 6 divided by 3 first, so that's going to be 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. All right, so that one does not work. All right, so no. And then I'm going to put C my work. Okay, because there's my counterexample. So the associative property does not work with division. Okay, it only works with addition and multiplication. All right, let's try the next one. Is subtraction of decimals associative? And if not, give a counterexample. So again, associative deals with grouping. Okay, so if I subtract decimals in any order, or how they're grouped, I'm sorry, will it work? Well, let's try it. So let's do some easy ones. Let's do 3.8 minus 1.2 minus 1.1. So let's group these together, and then let's do the opposite. So we'll do 3.8 minus 1.2 minus 1.1. All right, so if I do 1.2 minus 1.1, that's going to give me 0.1. Yeah. And then, or actually, let me do the top one first. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so if I do 3.8 minus 1.2, that would give us 2.6. So that would give me 2.6 minus 1.1, which is going to give me 1.5. Okay, whereas over here, if I do 1.2 minus 1.1 first, that's going to give me 3.8 minus 0.1, which is going to give me 3.7. Okay, so no, I don't get the same answer. All right, so no, this one does not work either. I'm just going to put C my work. All right. So associative only works on multiplication and addition. Okay, it does not work on division or subtraction. All right, let's take a look at example 2. So name the property shown by each statement. So we have 4 plus and then the grouping of a plus 3 equal to the grouping of a plus 3 plus 4. So what happened here? Did we change the order of anything? Well, it does look like we changed the order, right? First it had 4 at the front, now it has 4 in the back. Did we change the groupings? Well, a plus 3 is still grouped together on the left, and it is on the right. So actually the groupings didn't change. It's the order that changed. So let's make a little note here. Order changed. And in this case, this would be the commutative property of addition. Okay? So if you're not familiar with all of your properties yet, go ahead and look at some resources and kind of get those memorized real quick. Okay, let's look at letter B. We have 1 times 3c, and then we just get 3c. So which property tells us that if I multiply by 1, I end up getting the same thing? In this case, that would be the multiplicative identity. Okay, and if you're still lost on where I'm getting all these, there is a box on page 19 and on page 20. Okay, that's where I'm getting all these from. That's why I said you may want to have your textbook out and be looking at those. Or if you have a flip chart or reference sheet of some kind, go ahead and use that. Okay, so when you multiply by 1, you get the same answer, right? If I take 6 times 1, I still get 6. Okay, that's called the multiplicative identity. Multiplicative means relating to multiplication, obviously. Identity means to get itself. So to get yourself a multiplication, you multiply by 1. All right, go ahead and try these on your own. And let's take a look. So we have d plus 0 equals d. So since we added 0 and got the same thing, this is called the additive identity. 2b, we have 8 times 1. So we multiply by 1 to get the same thing. That was the previous one, which was the multiplicative identity. And then on 2c, this is kind of a tougher one. So we have 14 plus and then 9 plus 10 grouped together. And then we have a grouping of 14 plus 9 grouped together and then plus 10. So did we actually change the order of anything? No, it still says 14, 9, and 10, 14, 9, and 10. Nothing changed there. All right, what did happen though was the parentheses changed from grouping 9 and 10 together to 14 and 9 together. All right, so we had grouping changes here. And when you change groupings, okay, that's called the associative property. That's what we were talking about up there in the first example. Sorry if you can hear all the racket. We're having construction done outside the building right now, and they're really loud. So associative property of, in this case, everything was addition, so it's addition. All right, let's take a look at 2D. It says 5 minus 7 times 2 equals 7 times 2 times 5. Okay, so did the order change? Yes, it did. It went 5, 7, 2. Now it says 7, 2, 5. So lots of things got moved around. Okay, so the order changed. There aren't any parentheses, so we know there was no grouping changes. So this one was just order change. So since the order changed, this is called the commutative property of, in this case, it was multiplication. Okay. All right, go ahead and finish up, and let's turn the page. All right, now we're going to actually simplify some expressions. I'm going to scoot it down just a little bit if my board will cooperate with me. There we go. All right, so this one says the quantity of 3 plus e plus 7. Well, 3 is what we call a constant. We're going to learn about that in a couple lessons down the road, but 3 is called a constant. E is a variable, and then we have 7, which is a constant. You can't put variables and constants together unless you're multiplying, okay? Well, actually, you could do it with division too, but usually it's all multiplication, what we usually have in 7th grade. So since you can't put those together, all you're going to do is put your constants together. So the variable is the one that always goes first. So we're going to have E, and then I have 3 and 7, which makes 10. And that's it. Okay, there's nothing fancy to it. There's no extra steps or anything like that. You can't solve it. You're simplifying it. Solving is when you have an equal sign. Okay? All right, let's take a look at letter B. We have 8 times and then the quantity of x times 5. Well, this one's a little bit different. This one we can actually put everything all together. So we're going to do 8 times 5, which is 40. And then times x just means x. We don't put the time symbol in the middle. A number next to a letter means multiplication without us having to say that. All right, let's take a look at letter C. We have 9 plus the quantity of 0 plus q. Well, again, you can't put q with anything else because everything's addition. You got to do it with multiplication. So we have 9 plus 0, which is still 9, and then we have q. So this is going to be q plus 9. Okay, letter D. We have 4 times a times 0. Anything times 0 is 0. All right, go ahead and pause it, and let's try 3a through 3d by yourselves and come back to me just as soon as you're done. All right, let's take a look. So we got 12 times 10 times c. So we have 12 times 10, that's 120. And then we have c. 3b, we have 15 plus w plus 16. 15 plus 16 makes 21. No, 31, sorry. And then w, so w plus 31. Remember, when it's adding and subtracting, the variable goes first. When you multiply, the variable goes in the back. Okay? 3c, we have something times 0, so that's just 0. And then we have 10 plus p plus 18, so we have p. And then we have 10 plus 18, which is 28. And that's it. Okay. Let me scroll down just to make sure. I'm pretty sure that's the last one. Yep. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Give me a like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.